Akriti, Akriti, Akriti. It was a difficult book to talk about. Guess aplomb was defined by her. Thank you. Don't we all wish our children to develop into well rounded personalities, to reach their potential, to have a fulfilled life, to contribute to the world positively? Then make them readers. Reading is the cornerstone of that wish. Bill Gates, Barack Obama, Trevor Noah, Taylor Swift, or LeBron James, the unmissable NBA Miami Heat star, who says he loves reading because it strengthens his mind. The education and the development of a child is not complete without extracting the knowledge hidden in the books. There is nothing more valuable we can give our children than the habit of reading, empowering them to read, facilitating the reading, developing a culture of reading. All the successful people given a chance would shout from the top, "Make your child a reader!" And they shout something else as well. Take the screen away from kids. That's as bad as drugs. Welcome to the Bookbibuli podcast and to the series Book Lancers. Book Lancers is a first of a kind exclusive series for us at Bookbibuli to unearth, felicitate, and celebrate the readers from the school, Lancers International School. School plays a decisive role in the life of a child. For any child, the experience at the school has lifelong reverberations, positive and or negative. Lancers International School is a school that endeavors to bring about the change we seek through education with just emphasis on reading and literature. One of the few in the country. Holistic, balanced development for the generational future so that the world reverberates right. We are honored to listen to the wisdom of the well read students of the school. We feel we have been encouraged in our pursuit of raising readers, more specifically, young ones. I would like to say the pleasure is mine. Sathvikh, the youngest of the three Lancers, the most affectionate. Sathvikh will never be alone in his life. He's a conversationalist. He will make friends wherever he will pass throughout his life. Then you can also bet on him to come up with the most surprising views on questions which might seem mundane to some. He's the one with free thinking. He is imaginative, persuasive, and a friend for all weathers. Not every one of us tries to pull a friend out from a trough and invest in her to get on the track, to shun the screen and read. Sathvikh is that exception. Listen to him, the boy of the group. Hello, Sathvikh.
Hello all, I'm Sathvikh Sudhakar studying in Lancers International School. I'm in grade 7 and I love to read. At my school, you cannot find me without a book. I'm very grateful to be called upon to be part of this podcast. Thank you for this amazing opportunity.
Thank you, Sathvikh, for sharing your insights with us. Let's get started. What was the emotion that the title evoked before you started reading the book? And now that you've read it, how would you say it relates to the story?
When I first saw the title, I thought the book referred to a boy who faced trouble with school and sat at the back of the class. I thought maybe the student at the back of the class may be bullied and everyone would despise him, just like in the book Wonder. That's why I felt interested and a bit sad about the boy at the back of the class. Later on, I felt inspired by how three kids, friends of Ahmed, which is the boy of the back of the class, overcame the obstacles and finally helped Ahmed.
This story is narrated by the main character, whose name we never get to know. But this third person perspective was really interesting. What do you think?
I think this perspective of this book is interesting. This book gave me ways to think from outside one perspective, which is the main character's perspective. The main character of the story is Ahmed, but the story is narrated from the perspective of one of his friends. I enjoyed this new way of reading. In this third perspective narration, I noticed that the name and the gender of this character is not revealed. But at the end of the book, we find out that this character is a girl called Alexa.
You know, I never figured out the name of the narrator, and now, thanks to you, I have. Pushing the concept of characters, who was your favorite character?
My favorite character when I read the book was Alexa, the narrator. I liked her character because I could read the book from one of the side character's perspective and helped me understand her more than the other character. This way, I could know about Ahmed's story, basically his problems, while reading about how Alexa, one of Ahmed's friends, handles these situations mentally while managing the drama at her house. Another reason I liked Alexa is that her family was nice and their attitudes were engaging to read about.
The book touches on concepts of friendship, empathy, and the importance of inclusion. Have you ever had an experience where you felt something similar?
Yes, I can relate to the concept of the book on friendship, empathy, and inclusion. Once, since I always was reading my books, my friends ignored me in their games without asking me to play. I know it was not a lack of empathy there, but I still hurt that they didn't include me. But after I explained this to them, our friendship became stronger. So, this is how the book connects to me.
Oh, that's great and so touching. I'm sure you have a wonderful set of friends. This book has won many awards and accolades. What do you think makes it stand out from others, especially in the genre of children's literature?
I think that the new method of writing, by narrating the story from a third person point of view through a character, made children like me want to know how the story could have been written. I also believe that this book connects to many people's school lives, like they were bullied, how they had to make their grades better, etc. So, this is why I think this book was recognized to get many awards and accolades.
School times are always nostalgic for everyone, regardless of age. That's the spine of this book. Please tell our audience about the theme and the central narrative of the book.
The book's theme is friendship, and the book's central narrator refers to how the theme helped the main characters to help the boy at the back of the class, Ahmed, a refugee, to find his parents. The friendship is cleanly conveyed throughout the book, as mentioned in the book on page 99. Ahmed never stopped being our friend, not even after he became the most popular boy at school and not even when all the newspapers in the world made him the most famous refugee on the planet.
I love that portion as well. Say, if you were to recommend this book to a family of friends, how would you convince them to read it?
I would tell them that this book is differently written and that it was a must try and add that it has won many awards. I would also give them a summary where I would hook them in and make sure they want to read and find out. Maybe like, a refugee boy, Ahmed, sits at the back of the class. He's very worried about his parents as they are missing. And this time three good friends befriend him and decide to help him and try to find his parents. But will Atman and his friends find his parents even after the borders of the country are closed? Join the adventure of these four friends to find out.
Yes, folks, listen to Sathvikh and go on this book adventure. We always have favorite portions. But what about the ones, the portions that we don't like? Which portions did you not like in the book and felt that they could have been done better?
I did not like it when the four kids went inside the Buckingham Palace. This act felt like they were acting before they thought, and what would have happened if they were sent to jail? Since this book is realistic fiction, it bothered me when the author wrote something that just won't happen in real life. You can't go into the Buckingham Palace and have tea and biscuits with the Queen of England. It seemed a bit absurd to me. I think that it should have been written a bit more realistically, like they got a permission or some meeting with the Queen, maybe like that.
What do you think is the major reason for decline in children's reading?
I think that social media plays a major role in the declining rate of reading. This is as children our age find social media more attractive than reading because it allows for them to connect with their friends, play games, etc. For example, a friend of mine brings her phone to school and also her book to school. She reads only in school as phones are not allowed during school and goes into social media during her bus ride home. So if someone has a choice between reading and social media, they would say, I would read if I don't have access to social media. This is why I think that social media plays a major role in the declining rates of reading.
I totally agree with your thought process, and that is possibly the reason why we have a comprehensive program called the North Star program. It does not only have a book map, which is like a guided tour for books, it also has podcast, it has blogs, which where you can express what you're thinking about. It also has a literal social event calendar where you can not only discuss the book with a lot of other people, you can also deep dive into the book with literateurs, other people who are teachers or experts in languages. And then finally, we have events which celebrate these particular books. I hope that this North Star program would be interesting for our listeners as well. Well, thank you very much, Sathvikh, for being with us today.
Thank you for inviting me and giving me this opportunity to share my thoughts on one of my favorite books. It has been a very lovely time to give my responses to you on my favorite book. Thank you again.
And now it's time for Bookbibuli Read Reco. The book is told from the perspective of children and therefore extremely relatable. The language is what you would use in common parlance, so easy read, no tough words, can easily be finished in 3 days. The takeaway from the book is the importance of friendship and the celebration and acceptance of difference. We'll initiate a healthy dialogue on the refugee crisis. The books leading to the boy at the back of the class are The Girl of Ink and Stars, Breaking Stalin's Nose, and Playing Atari with Saddam Hussein. And the apt successor is Refugee by Alan Gratz. We talk of giving our children a better world to live. We should add to it that we need to raise better children. Raise children better. It is our responsibility. Maybe the most important of our lives. If we play well, we can achieve both with giving an addiction to our children. An addiction we would not wish them to get over. Habit of reading, addiction to books. And how? Enroll your child for Bookbibuli's The North Star program, where he or she is absorbed into the culture of reading, an environment which values readers, a community which celebrates and felicitates readers, a laid out plan to provide the best books that help the growth and keep the habit, a forum to let out the book with other readers, an avenue to voice their views for the benefit of fellow children, and a publication to express themselves. That's how. Choose the best for your child from one of the 7 carefully crafted programs. And we shall see you next week. Until then, better read, read better.